So in this video, we'll be taking a closer look at these 100-watt chargers from Baseus, or Baseus, however you want to pronounce that. These are GaN 3 Pro chargers, and I recently did take a look at the 65-watt version that you can also go to my channel and check out. I originally wanted the 100-watt version, but those were not available here in Europe. As of recently, they have become available on Amazon, and I picked them up on Black Friday. Got them at a pretty good deal. And of course, I will share some links down in the description below if you're interested in these chargers. I did buy 2 of these, but this video, of course, will just be looking at one of them here. Like I said, these are GaN 3 Pro chargers. You can charge up to 100 watt, but that is for all 4 plugs on this device together. Of course, if you're charging more than one device, kind of split this number up a little bit. So it's a 2C plus 2U 100 watts charger, and this is the European version. Because I live in Europe and we use these round plugs there. And I have pretty good experience with Baseus chargers. I've had several chargers from them, not only the 65 watts that I just showed you, but other chargers previously that are still working just fine. So hopefully these will be as good as well. Let's have a look around the box here. On the right side, you have a little bit of information. So of course, upgraded GaN 3 technology, comfortable with 45 watt fast charging with Samsung devices, which is excellent because I do have Samsung devices, so tablets and smartphones from Samsung. 100 watt dual Type-C blind interpolation, and does have BF3 charging technology. Some more information here on the back, nothing really on the left side. But of course, on a device like this here with multiple inputs or outputs for charging, the total output is 100 watt, but you cannot charge 100 watt on all the 4 outputs at the same time. So you kind of can see here on the back side how it is split up. So both of the Type-C outputs, 1 and 2, can output up to 100 watt each. But if you use them both at the same time, then output number 1 will be 65 watt and output number 2 will be 30 watt. So if you use USB Type-C 1 and 2 plus USB 1 or USB 2, the USB-C 1 will charge at 60 watt. USB-C 2 will charge at 20 watt, and the first USB-A will charge at 18 watt, and so on and so on. If you use all of them, then the first output, Type-C, will be 60 watt, the Type-C second one will be 20 watt, and the 2 USB-A ports will be 15 watt each. So you do kind of split it up a little bit there. So always the most important device, like your laptop, tablets, and so on, charge that with the USB Type-C 1 plug. Other devices, you can use USB Type-C 2 if you need them to charge up to 30 watt, or 20 watt if you use any of the USB-A plugs as well. And of course, if you use both of the USB-A plugs, you'll be charging at 15 watt each of those 2. Or if you just would use one of them, then it would be charging at 18 watts. So that's kind of a mouthful. This charger can also handle, I believe, power delivery and GaN 3 and all the fast charge standards as well. So it should be pretty good to go with one of these here. And like I said, for Samsung devices, it is excellent. And that's what I plan to primarily use them on here in my home. So that's definitely excellent. And for some reason, they have put a sticker on top of these genuine stickers on the box. I'm pretty sure these are genuine devices because I bought them on Amazon. And I bought them from Amazon as well, so no third-party seller on there. But anyways, let's just get into this one here and have a closer look. And there is some tape on the sides, so let's just cut through that on both sides here. So they are brand new, sealed in box. And inside, you'll find some paperwork, the charger, of course. And you do also get a 1 meter USB Type-C cable, and that's everything inside the box. Let's get rid of that and look at the instructions first. It's a very small manual. I believe it's only like 1 page you can open up like so. I'm not really sure what information you need here. Maybe, of course, the charging capabilities for each specific plug. Can read through those here on these instructions, but they are also labeled on the charger itself. You get some stickers as well. A little bear with sunglasses. And what is that? A nuclear ball, a bomb or what? Kind of weird little sticker there. And you also get a warranty card. Can of course fill this one out if you need to use the warranty. I've never really had any issue with any of Baseus devices, so I've had no reason to use the warranty as of yet, so I cannot really speak to how good they actually are. But anyways, 1 meter USB Type-C cable like I said, and these are a 100 watt USB Type-C cable, so should be able to charge whatever you plug into this device with Baseus branding on the USB Type-C plugs, and a little cable tie here. So kind of nice, so you can tie it all up and great for traveling. because these are not really the longest cables, so don't really take up much space in your bag as well. And then of course we have the charger itself. Comes nicely wrapped in plastic. Let's just get rid of that. Maybe we can pull it over this way here, like so. And then we have the charger. You definitely feel very dense little charger here because yeah, it is very small, but it is kind of heavy. And then you have this long cable. Unfortunately, this cable is not user replaceable, which is a little unfortunate. Would have been nice to just be able to plug this one out, and maybe you could use a smaller plug for traveling if you don't want to travel with such a long cable here, or whatever. If it gets damaged at some point, it's much easier to replace as well. But of course, this one here, you do have 100 watts branding here on the side, and let's just compare a little bit to the 65 watt version here. You can see it is definitely a lot bigger, pretty much the same footprint when you look at it from this orientation here. So seem to be pretty much the same height and width, but of course just the depth and the weight is a little bit different. And speaking of the weight, let's just throw it on the scale just to compare a little bit to the smaller variant as well. So throwing on the big guy here, 100 watt charger on, we're looking at close to 300 watts, which is not really all that heavy really when you consider all the devices you can charge with a device like this, but 291 grams versus the 65 watt charger here, 245 grams. So you're looking at close to 50 grams more for the extra 35 watt of charging capabilities, which is not really all that much really. So that's quite good. Still fairly lightweight, although of course a little bit heavier. And you can see here on the bottom side, you do have all the charging modes. Definitely, like I said, need to learn this. The device most important for you to charge up, and the device you want to charge up fastest, depending on how many devices you connected, always connect that to the Type-C one here on the front. That can charge up to 100 watts. So both of the Type-C here on the front can charge 100 watts if you only have one device connected at the same time. If you have two Type-C devices connected, then Type-C one, which should be your primary one, and you can charge up to 65 watt there, and at the same time charge up to 30 watts on this Type-C 2. If you have utilized all the plugs, then you are looking at 60 watt here on the Type-C one, 20 watt on the Type-C 2, and 15 watt each on the Type-A plugs there. So definitely a lot of wattage to take a note of, but just note that you will charge at a minimum of 60 watt with the Type-C one, and you can utilize all the other devices here as well and still get that full 60 watts, which is definitely fine enough. I just plan to charge my MacBook Air. I have the M1 MacBook Air. I believe it only comes with like a 45 watt charger. And I plan to charge my Samsung tablets. I have an Ultra and a normal SA tablet. And I do also have several Samsung phones like the S22 Ultra and the regular just S22, which can also fast charge as well. But other than that, of course, plastic, Baseus branding here on top. Fairly long cable. I believe this is 1.5 meters and also kind of big and thick cable. So feels like high quality. And at the other end here, we do have a European plug. Of course, this is the region of the world I live in, but you can of course get them with US, Australian, UK plugs and so on. And we do also have a little zip tie here so you can keep it nice and tidy for traveling and so on. Kind of nice. And let's just try it out actually. So when you turn on the charger, you can see there's a little blue LED here, just indicating that there is power going to the charger itself. And let's just try and plug in both of these. Let's try and plug in the S22 Ultra. This one is at 87%, charging immediately. Just switched over. This is connected to USB Type-C 2, so it is fast charging. Just try again. You can see you get a notification there. So quick, fast charging, 1 minutes to full charging. And let's just see the tablet here, if it is also charging fast. So it's also fast charging. And you can see as soon as I connect another device, it will just switch over to a different mode. So now I have only one device connected to USB Type-C 1. It will kind of start charging again, and this time around it will charge with up to 100 watt. And it is fast charging rather. And you connect this one as well. You can see it stops charging here. It takes a second, and it will kind of recognize that two devices is connected, and it will also still say fast charging there as well. Let's try to connect the S22 to the USB Type-C 1 plug. See if we can get fast charging through here. And yeah, fast charging. So overall, I will highly recommend this charger. I've been using my 65 watts ever since I got that one, and it's been working flawlessly. So highly recommend this one here. And I also recommend these cables here that you can also, of course, get on Amazon. fairly cheaply actually. You get a pack with 2 of them with a metal plug. They're still working well. I also bought one set with my 65 watt charger, and I bought a new one here to use with this charger here as well. But of course, you just need to take a note of which device you have connected to what USB Type-C plug. It can be a little hard to tell what plug goes to where if you have exactly the same cables going to both of the USB Type-C plugs in the front. So put a little sticker or a little piece of tape on one of the plugs. And these are also fantastic travel chargers to keep in your bag. And you can keep your computer and phone and other accessories always up and ready with a device like this. So yeah, I highly recommend this. And of course, you can find some affiliate link down in the description below if you are interested in this one. And I will also have links for the 65 watt down there. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope to see you again in a future one. Until then, take care.